corner over here was Skip Carey, very famous son of the very famous, what I call the Harry Carey baseball broadcasting family. That's a mouthful. Ernie Johnson Sr. actually played for the Braves for 15 years and broadcast for 35 plus. Pete Van Wieren, we called him the professor. He was kind of like Greg Maddox. Greg Maddox prepared meticulously for ball games, as did Pete Van Wieren for his broadcast. All three were all Hall of Famers. They've all passed on now, but their spirit lives on in this building. If you look out the windows to your left, to the red numbers hanging on the wall, those are the 10 retired Braves numbers plus one. So those red numbers will not be worn again by a Brave. Number 3, of course, was Dale Murphy, most popular Brave in the 80s. He won the MVP awards back-to-back in 82 and 83, and also had 4 back-to-back Silver Slugger awards at that time. However, Dale is the only Brave out of that group that is not going into Cooperstown Hall of Fame. And that's a shame because he deserved it, if anybody did.
He still has one more chance, the decade ballot next year.
Number 6, Bobby Cox, our longtime manager, winningest manager in Braves history, 4th winningest manager in the majors. And Bobby also has that dubious honor of being the manager most ejected from baseball games because Bobby always had his players back regardless of the situation. Number 10, of course, Chipper Jones. Just got into the Hall of Fame last week in Cooperstown. He was the first, he was the most important Brave in 1990 when we got him as our number 1 draft pick, and he lived up to all the expectations. He was the number 2 best switch hitter to ever play the game, having hit over 300 from both sides of the plate. And when he retired as a Brave, he still led in hits and home runs and a variety of other things. Chipper Jones was the man at third base. Number 21 was Warren Spahn. I considered him the best left-hander to ever play the game. He had 363 wins, but 187 of those were from the age of 39 to 45. Folks, that's old pitching right there. Now, when Warren played, he left in the prime of his career and went and served America in the war for 3 years. He got a Purple Heart. He came back and he resumed right where he left off. He had 2 no-hitters when he was 39 and 40 years of age, and he also had a Cy Young Award. So Warren was one of the greats. 29, that starts off the big 3 of Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavine. John Smoltz holds a record in Major League Baseball that I feel quite sure that will never be broken. He had 200 wins as a starter for the Braves before he got injured and had Tommy John surgery. After surgery, he moved to the closer spot, had 154 saves for the Braves. Then he came back after that as a starter again, and for the last 3 years of his career, he was the ace of the team once more. John also had Cy Young Awards as well. 31, Greg Mad Dog Maddox, my favorite player of all times. Greg, not the biggest pitcher in the world, didn't throw a fastball over 90 miles an hour, but definitely the smartest pitcher to ever play. He knew the tendency of every single player that he went up against, and he didn't study them just a day before the game or a week before the game. He studied some players a year before he ever played them. And that's evidenced by the type of awards he won. He had 4 back-to-back Cy Young Award winners. His first one was with the Cubs, and then he became a free agent that year, and we picked him up, and he got 3 back-to-back after that. He and Randy Johnson are the only 2 players to ever have 4 back-to-back Cy Youngs. But even more impressive than that, besides the Cy Youngs, he also had 10 back-to-back Gold Glove Awards while he was with the Braves. But he had 18 overall, and I feel quite certain that record will not be broken. That's for the best fielder by position that year. Now, one record was brought to light, or one stat was brought to light about Greg last year. If this doesn't catch your breath, nothing will in baseball. Greg pitched over 20,770-something batters in his lifetime. Only 330 went to a 3-0 count. 177 of the 330 were intentional walks.
Yeah, one game where he threw a complete game shutout. 76 pitches in an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about him.
He was amazing. He was just amazing. He was so smart. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And he had 8 strikeouts. You figure 76 pitches, and he had something like 8 strikeouts. So it had to be at least 3 ball counts.
Right.
So the other ones were like, don't pitch, get them out, you know.
I never understood why they could all hit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, then we had 35, Phil Necro. Anybody ever had a knuckleball pitch down before? That's a very strange pitch when you see it coming at you, waving in the wind. But Phil Necro was one of the best. They called him Nutsy. That was his nickname. And he still lives around here, too. But definitely one of the best knuckleballers to ever play the game for us. 41 was Eddie Matthews. He has the distinction of being the only Brave to play in all 3 cities as a Brave. 44, of course, Hank Aaron, the great home run king, I might add. He had number 715 to break Babe Ruth's record in 1974 at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Hank was amazing. He still owns records today, 30 home runs in 15 seasons, 20 home runs in 20 seasons.
Is he still the RBI leader?
Hmm?
Is he still the RBI leader all time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he today he's a senior vice president for the Braves. So we get to see his smiling face around here once in a blue moon. 47, the other of the big 3, Tommy Glavine. He had 244 wins as a Brave. He also had 2 Cy Young awards and also 4 Silver Slugger awards. Tommy could hit the ball. Number 42, not a Brave, Jackie Robinson. Jackie was the first African American in Major League Baseball in 1947. Jackie's number is retired in every baseball stadium in America with good reason. Nobody can wear number 42 again except on April 15th, which is Jackie Robinson Day, and that's when every player in the major leagues wears 42 with no name on the back as a tribute to Mr. Robinson. Next to that, we have Coca-Cola Corner. They're our non-alcoholic beverage sponsor. If you have a ticket in that corner, you get a 20-ounce Coke product of your choice for free. Below that, we have the Hank Aaron Terrace. That is an all-you-can-eat restaurant for the fans. It is done by groups. It is different from the 755 Club that we had at Turner Field. Kind of wish it was the 755 Club, but everything in there is a tribute to Hank. We have indoor and outdoor seating there, and when we go over there, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Below that, we have our what I call our no-name pink T-Mobile visitors bullpen for their pitchers to warm up. Then our Delta-sponsored scoreboard is 90 by 30. Then we have another first in Major League Baseball, the Home Depot Clubhouse. That's the only standalone building in a Major League park. So what is that clubhouse? That's where your tools, the guys that dress up and run around like Hammer and Hank and the paintbrush and a little bit of the drill, that's their hangout. That's where their lockers are. So if you're one of 40 people that pay a total of $5,400, you can hang out with the tools. And you also get to let me entice you a little more. You get to hang out the big Velcro case that indicate every time the Braves strike out the opposition. So we kind of have to keep an eye on those folks about halfway through the game. But then we have our SunTrust Park scoreboard. That whopper is 121 feet wide by 65 feet tall with 8.3 million LED lights in it. Below that, you've got the windows, that's security keeping an eye on us. And we brought the old Tom drum over here as well. Now the green wall out there in center field, that is called the batter's eye. Every stadium in Major League Baseball has a batter's eye. And that's so when the batter gets up there and that 95-mile-an-hour fastball is coming at his head, he can actually focus on the ball and not the people sitting out there in center field. That's why there's no seats out there. Instead, we have green trees. We have our water feature. Those are real Georgia trees. We try to keep things local. The rocks are a figment of your imagination. They are fiberglass. You can see those at Bass Pro Shots. I'm assuming y'all have those in New York?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure. We have 11,000 gallons of water that's recycled daily in there with an 11-foot waterfall. And what you don't see are the 4 water cannons. Every time the Braves hit a home run, the cannons shoot up water 60 feet in the air. Guaranteed, if you're sitting over there, you will get a shower.
Here. Thank you again. If you catch this on the replay, do watch, fast forward, rewind, save it, make sure you binge on Buzz. Just went on the tour at SunTrust Park. They take you from